The first thing that shocked me, or let me say the first thing I learned, was currency shock. Now, in Nigeria, we use naira. In Ghana, they use cedis. So when I got to Ghana, I learned I have to change my naira to cedis. So I was like, okay, based on what I've heard, Ghana is a small country, Nigeria is bigger than Ghana, so you know, it's all my budget. So when I got here, I discovered that okay, one Ghana cedi was equal to 135 naira. That was very shocking to me. So it means that if I bring in more naira, I'm going to have less money in Ghana. So I'm a billionaire in Nigeria, billionaire farmer in Nigeria. Then I go to Ghana, I don't even know my body because
A Nigerian man who have never traveled out of Nigeria all his life actually carried out an experiment to see how he can travel out of Nigeria. And his first visit, his first stop was the country Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode. In this video is a breakdown and a mouthful of a Nigerian man experience who thought being a billionaire, or a millionaire as he so put it, farmer in question by profession, actually wanted to go to Ghana to see, based on all he's been hearing, what it is about Ghana and his experience, especially in terms of currency exchange, will leave you speechless. This video is quite lengthy, but I believe it's not going to be a waste of time because there is a lot we need to learn. A lot of things is exposed in this video that will really help us as both Nigerians and Ghanaians. So I would love us to hear from him. Pay attention to details because there are some things I will address, right? And please do not forget to give this video a huge and a massive thumbs up. Watch patiently to the end to hear my own opinion and give this video a share so that more people can see. Stay subscribed if this is your first time here, and let's watch these videos. I will be right back.
honest review about Nigeria and Ghana. So many people have been to Ghana, people have given their review. I felt it's also good for me to give. Now, before I go into that, I have to tell you why I decided to visit Ghana. So if you have watched some of my previous video, I made mention that one of the mistakes I made earlier in my life was that I never traveled outside Nigeria, right? So I did not travel not because I did not have the money to travel. I had enough money to go to any country. If it is money, can visit any country in the world. But for my small mind, I was always looking at traveling as maybe waste of funds because as at that time, all my head was to build my company, build my farm to a very profitable and sustainable farm. So I didn't want to like waste the money that was meant for waste in quotes, right? The money that was meant for a project. So for example, now if I have money, all that is in my head is how can we increase the number of birds, the number of layers we have. All that is in my head is how can we increase the number of fish that we are stocking. Now, to an extent, I even punish myself in terms of even eating of food. Most times I see, I see them as luxury. I was just living a very moderate life, and that is my life up to now. I don't believe in luxurious living, like trying to just show up that you have money. No, and God being so kind, when I came to Kano, I also discovered that there were many billionaires that were very quiet. Or you will not even know they have money. So I just pray that God should give me that kind of life. Let me just live comfortable, happy, no show up. Okay, so now I decided that okay, this year I'm going to travel at least to almost, if not all, the West African countries. And the goal was that even if I don't have the money to fly by air, some of these countries that we can go by road. So I said, okay, if I don't have the funds to travel by air, I'll go by road. Because by road, maybe 100,000, 200,000, I mean, most of these African countries. So I made that as a goal this year. So this is my first country, Ghana. So when I visited Ghana, I learned a lot of things. A lot that I knew, if only I knew then earlier, they would have been so beneficial to me. But it's not too late, right? So the first thing I did was that I came to Ghana for training. So the training was when I saw farming in Africa advertise their training on goat farming. I said, okay, so this will even be an opportunity for me to travel. Remember, I'm just trying to save money, so I don't want to just travel. So I used the opportunity of the training. I paid for the training. I said, okay, since I've paid money for this training, now I have all what it takes to go to Ghana and just learn about agriculture in Ghana, meet other like-minded guys who are into farming, and outside of my personal country, or let me say my country of birth, Nigeria. So when I got to Ghana, I learned so many things, but I just classify everything into five things I want to share with you about Ghana. That is my own, right? So I want us to just compare Nigeria and Ghana, which country is best. That debate has been there in terms of food, in terms of money, government, so many things, but I just feel, let me share a few with you. So the first thing I learned, I've listed them here on my book. I don't want to miss any. The first thing that shocked me, or let me say the first thing I learned, was currency shock. Now, in Nigeria, we use naira. In Ghana, they use cedis. So when I got to Ghana, I learned I have to change my naira to cedis. So I was like, okay, based on what I've heard, Ghana is a small country, Nigeria is bigger than Ghana, so there will be no issue. So all my budget. So when I got here, I discovered that okay, one Ghana cedi was equal to 135 naira. That was very shocking to me. So it means that if I bring in more naira, I'm going to have less money in Ghana. So I'm a billionaire in Nigeria, billionaire farmer in Nigeria. Then I got to Ghana. I don't even know my body because the currency was so big. Okay, so I just changed 200,000 to Ghana cedi. So 200,000, you can see what this is 200 cedi, this is 400 cedi, 500, right? 600, 700, 800, 900, is 1,000 cedi, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 200,000 naira to change, you will just have 1,500 cedi. I think the money have also increased because the first time I got here it was less than this. 1 cedi, 100 and something naira. So I think first I exchanged 200,000 naira. So when I exchanged 200,000, I was paid 1,000, I think 1,400 cedi. So okay, so let me see what this 1,000 plus cedi can do for me in Ghana. So I got a taxi from the park where I dropped to the hotel. I didn't even know anywhere. So I just saw a hotel online. I searched and then I said, okay, let me just go to the hotel. I didn't know anybody, nothing. So the hotel that the taxi guy took me, I think the taxi guy charged me 50 cedi, which was way too much. Way too much. But I didn't know at the time. And the distance where we went was not like, it was not up to 10 minutes drive. I collected 50 cedi. So in my mind, I was looking at okay, 50 cedi, maybe just 15 naira. So it was not big for me. So no, I think it was around 7,000. Yeah, 7,000. So we got to the hotel. So the hotel, they told me it was like a small hotel, not that big. It's not like a 5-star hotel, right? So they told me that they have 2 apartments. There is one of their rooms that have just fan. So that one is going for 260 cedi. Then there's another one that has AC. That one is going for 300 cedi, or was it 350 or so? But the rules are the same. It's just the difference between fan and AC. I was like, oh my god, this is a bush farmer you guys are talking to, right? Just give me the one with fan. Let me just enjoy myself. I don't need this because I did the conversion. So when I did the conversion, in naira it was like 41,000 or so. I was like, shit, that's big. That's big money. Now the hotel I rented that was around 40,000 naira. If you check in Nigeria, let me say Abuja or Lagos, Port Harcourt, a hotel of 40,000 naira, it will be a nice hotel, especially we in Kano. It will be a 5-star standard hotel for 40,000 naira per night. Even in Abuja, it will be standard hotel. Even in Lagos, there was a time I was in Lagos in Aja. The hotel I rented was 30,000. It was very nice, extremely nice, close to GO Park in Lagos. So I paid that money, and the place I was staying, it was not equal to the kind of hotels I live in Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, whenever I visit any of this city. Where I was staying in Kano, when I first got to Kano, I was paying 17,000, and the hotel was far better than this one that I paid. So the conversion was boosting my brain. So I was very, very shocked to discover that the Ghana cedi is way more than Nigerian naira. So when I started making inquiry, telling people, they were like, initially, naira was way higher than dollar, to a point that if you get cedi to Nigeria, you will not even use the money because it will not be able to buy anything for you. Because as at that time, naira was even more than pounds, more than dollars. So it was not like to compare to Ghana cedi. Cedi was very, very small. One of my friends was telling me that those days, some of his friends that came to Ghana, when they brought the money back, they have to just throw it away. They couldn't use the money. So, but now it was very high. So as a business guy, I was doing my calculation, right? So if I set up my business in Ghana and I'm earning in Ghana cedis, and I come back to Nigeria without Ghana cedi and exchange it, the money will be big. I will become a trillionaire. I will jump from billionaire to trillionaire. So that was another shock for me, right? So if you're a Ghanaian and you're poor, maybe you should come to Nigeria, you'll be rich. That's how life is. If you're poor in Ghana, just maybe go with maybe 1 million Ghana cedi. But another thing I also discovered was that even in Ghana, it's not easy to make 1,000 Ghana cedi. That is another thing I discovered. It's not that easy. People are making it right. I did my search. I was seeing that minimum wage for people like me, people that work in the bank, big companies, they're any less than 10,000 cedi. Maybe 5,000 cedi, 6,000 cedi. So basically, they are earning, for them, 5,000 cedi will be big money, right? That's another thing I also discovered about Ghanaian people is that I'm still discussing the currency shock, right? For an average Ghanaian, 1,000 cedi, the guy can manage his life with 1,000 cedi, right? Because I see that they don't live extravagant life in Ghana. Based on the few days I've been here, I don't know much, and I've not traveled around Ghana. So I'm just saying, based on the few days I was able to spend in Ghana, I discovered that they don't use money like, okay, like me for example now, 200,000 will not do me for a month in Nigeria. Of course, I'm married, I have kids, so we have bills to pay, a lot of bills to pay. So 200,000 cannot feed my family comfortably. It will not. It will be able to feed other people who are staying maybe in remote areas. But some of us that were staying in town, it will not be able to do us anything. So it's still not big money, even in Nigeria and Ghana. So, but for a Ghanaian, they can try. So I don't think there is much difference there. Yeah, but it was shocking to me as a beginner. But when I saw it, I said, "Oh my God, I was not prepared for this." I didn't even know that because while I was planning of coming to Ghana, I was doing my calculation mainly in dollars. So now in dollars, if you have $100, let's say $1 is just 10 cedi. It's even decreasing. So the cedi is growing against the dollar. Because when I came and asked, they told me that initially it was $17, but now it has dropped to 10, and it's even going below 10. So I also saw that. I said, no. Their government is working. They are trying their possible best to make sure their currency will also have power. Now, the second thing that also a shocker to me was steady electricity. Oh my God. I'm not sure I've lived my life with 73 hours of steady power since I was born. Because I was not born from a rich background. My parents are not wealthy. They are pleasant farmers just trying to feed us. So I grew up in a village, or let me say I grew up not in an estate where there are billionaires, because in Nigeria, we also have steady light in few estates where billionaires are. Those ones, they have light. I don't know how they do, but they have their steady light. But even then, I'm sure there are some seasons where they will blink the light, right? So I've never lived my life in that kind of environment. I know some of my Ghanaian friends who will be watching this video, they will be laughing at us, but that is the reality. There are many of us in Nigeria that have not stayed with light for 24 hours a day. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, this is a nice thing. I stayed in that hotel for days. They don't even have a generator in that hotel. I didn't see one single generator. None. I was surprised. In Accra. So, oh my God. So I'm saying this so that we can do business mass here, right? So for some of us, I've run a business in Nigeria. I've run a rice processing factory, a big business that was making tens of thousands of, let me say, tens of millions. So I know what it means to operate a business in Nigeria using electricity and then using petrol. So there are weeks in Nigeria where we have maybe a few hours of light. That week we'll save a lot of money. Then when we don't have light, we'll burn so much on diesel. So if you check very well, I was making more profit when there is light. I was making less profit when I'm using gas. And then in Nigeria, there's no fixed price. Gas can be selling for 1,000 today. The next day you go, they tell you 2,000. You must buy. If you complain, tweet, insult people, you will still buy. So that is our reality. So I was like, if I set up a rice processing factory, for example, in Ghana, and I'm using steady light, goodness, how would that be for me? For example, now, where I went for training in Farming in Africa, their farm, where I went for the training, it was inside village. I think the guest house, they are paid, I think 85 cedi or so. It was inside village of Ghana. Bro, there was light there, steady. Like, light did not blink. Like, where they would just blink and come back. No. I stayed there for days. There was light. Now, when we got to the farm, because we have to stay to a small community that was there before we went to the farm. So when we got to the farm, I was shocked. They still have light in that farm. What's happening? They still have light in that farm. Now, where my farm is, in Makodi, is town compared to that place. They have light. And the light did not blink. So let's assume I have that kind of light in Nigeria. I'm making this. I want Ghanaians to also learn. You guys have something that we don't have. Honestly, this one is an honest review. I'm not downplaying any country. I love Nigeria. I'm not saying rubbish things. I'm just telling you the facts. If I have that kind of light in my farm, I'll become a billionaire in dollars. Where I will not be burning fuel. I prefer that let me pay the NEPA bill than to run on diesel. It's not sustainable. It's not profitable. So their farm was in the village. They had light. I didn't see generator there. I'm not sure I saw solar panels. I think I saw solar that was meant for their Starlink for browsing also, but I'm not sure I saw anything solar in that place. So it was shock to me. It was very new. Very, very new. So another thing I learned in Ghana that is also a good review for the Ghanaians is that their government is progressing. I don't know much about Ghana and how they were before now, but for the few days I got to Ghana, the few persons that I spoke with, many of them are telling me, yes, their government was bad. Like the previous administration was not doing too good. They made things very expensive, but the current president that is just 6 months on seat has improved even their currency against dollar. Everything has improved. Things are dropping in the market, like prices of things. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, They told me like before one Ghana city was 17, $1 was 17 to one Ghana city, but now it has dropped to 10 in less than 6 months. So I also saw by moving around Ghana, going to villages, remote area because of agriculture, I saw a lot of construction, good road network. They were doing busy working in Accra, outside of Accra, everything. When I marched out against my government, I said, oh my God, there is no road going to my village, my community. They started working on that road since I was in primary school. They have been working on that road till today. They have not finished the road. I don't know whether because Nigerian government does not have money or not, but they have not finished the road. They have been working, and I'm sure they will not finish it till my son will become of my age. They will still be working on the road. But that's how bad it is. So when I saw that, I said, okay, even if they don't have the money that we have in Nigeria, they don't have now in terms of population. The way they tell us in Nigeria, or let me say the way we read, they will tell you Ghana is a small country. You'll be thinking maybe Ghana is like Lagos. It's bigger than Lagos, even in landmark. It's bigger. See, I traveled within Ghana for like 5 hours. I was thinking it's a small place like Benue State. Now you can just use Okada and you cross the whole country. But it's big. It's big. So most times the media, or let me say mainstream media, will not give us good information that is supposed. They will purposely, I think they have used that to even downplay our uniqueness in Africa. They have made us to look very small. They have made us to believe we are small. So all I believe is that Ghana is a small country. They'll just say Ghana is just 20 million. I'll be looking at, okay, that is the whole population of Lagos. So they are living in a small place like the whole of Lagos. No. In reality, it's not so. So I love how the government is making progress in Ghana. Things are changing. The president came on. I know they also have bad leaders. That one is an African thing. But at least, if we have a leader who is making progress, it will be good. And that is what we are praying for in Africa. Now, about the Ghanaian guys. I think this is the fifth or fourth. They are welcoming people. Very welcoming people. Now, no Ghanaian is suspecting you to be a criminal. That was another thing I discovered. Now, if you come to my country, to be honest, once you introduce yourself, chap, I will watch you. You're a suspect. I don't know why, but I'll be suspecting you to be, maybe you're a kidnapper. Or maybe you're a criminal, you're sent to come and check. I will just go to anyone in Ghana and say, okay, my name is Denison, call me Billionaire Farmer. I'm new in Ghana. They'll be like, oh, welcome. You're from which country, Nigeria? Instantly, they're happy. They are happy that I leave Nigeria to come to Ghana.
Wow. First of all, why I had to bring on this video here is because I wanted to point out some certain things based on what this young man has said. One, hearing him talk shows and depicts an industrious young man here, a farmer to be precise, like he mentioned, who wants to explore other West African countries or countries in a nutshell. At least they say traveling is part of learning and knowledge. Prior before his visit to Ghana, he would never have known that the said Ghana that most Nigerians like him, yes, so have always underrated, commonized. Ghana is a small village, Ghana is like a small city, Ghana is like this, Ghana is like that, would have never known. He wouldn't have ever known that. It is not the way it is. That's why they say travel and see. Travel and see it in the sense that you are not just traveling for just illegally, without plans, without goals. If you hear from what this young man said, he traveled for a purpose, a sole purpose. And why I like his own ideology and perspective is because he wants to learn, he wants to invest, he wants to grow. This is the kind of mindset people should have whenever you want to visit a country, not just for the sole purpose of going there to do anything whatsoever. Anything whatsoever can lead you to crime and frustration, and at the end of the day, ruin your life as a foreigner, right? Now he went there for the seminar or training, whatever. He made mention of some certain things, which first of all, the exchange rate. He has seen the vast difference between Nigerian currency and Ghana currency, which is a good one. Knowing fully well that one of the things that Nigerians find most difficult to understand is how the currency of Ghana is way beyond their imagination when it's being exchanged from naira to Cedi. Is because at the end of the day, the system is working and the government is working, the country is working. Like he mentioned, it was not like this when he first heard that it was 17 cedis to a dollar. But today, look at what is happening. And the mindset of Nigerians, whenever they want to exchange this thing, coming from the naira aspect, is always the problem Nigerians will always have. Converting the cedi to naira at the end of the day, or the naira to cedi, is not the same and can never be the same. And saying that, on the other hand, going to Nigeria to make this money and come and convert is one thing that most Ghanaians don't even see as a thing, right? Why should they even? Why? It's not a bad thing to say, right? But at the end of the day, looking at everything he has put together, both the electricity, how the landmass is not what Nigeria says it is or think it to be. See, this really brings me to the point that most Nigerians, as we speak today, would never understand why they see that those who have been there and are saying these things, would always say that because it is factual. Like it is being said, Ghana is not 100% perfect, right? But for what Ghanaians have and Ghana is today, it's a welcome development for a country that is in West Africa that has done well for herself as a motherland to this extent and to this point. Nigerians cannot comprehend it, right? And to this young man, if you see the way he's coming from, like he said, it will tell you a lot about Nigeria. That most times when we talk about it, it seems as though we're just creating content. He said the road to his village has been there like that, the way it is under construction for years. The electricity in Nigeria, nothing to write home about. So this is so glaring. His opinion based on his experience about the vast difference between Ghana and Nigeria. Ghana should not even be compared or likened to Nigeria. Forget that title, giant, giant, giant. I don't see anything giant in Nigeria. It's just a camouflage, right? But at the end of the day, if you look at the way Ghana is today, you will have to be likening or comparing Ghana to Europe, because Ghana is the Europe, the America. See, God bear me witness, I'm saying this. I have not been to Ghana, but when I hear people's experience like this, I just feel so overwhelmed. I feel so happy. I was like this years back when I never even knew about Ghana. But the moment I found out about Ghana, I began to experiment, I began to research, I began to explore online. What I saw blew my mind, and it's always blowing my mind, just like what we have heard here today. And I can't wait till when I get to Ghana by the grace of God and see things for myself, explore. I'm not expecting a perfect, all rosy country. No, understand that. I'm a rational thinker, right? I don't expect a 100% country because nobody's perfect. But for the best part of Ghana is what I want to explore, right? The best part of Ghana is what I want to go for in terms of all ramifications, the currency, the food, the everything. So best believe that I am a rational thinker and I'm expecting not 100%, but I know that by the grace of God, we are working towards that, right? So, to all my Ghanaian fans, to all my Ghanaian family, I want to say, well done. You people are doing well, from the leaders down to the citizens. And that's why I need you people to always stand to protect what you have. Because if you have something you don't know the value and the worth, you will see nuisance. Criminals will come and take it away from you. And I don't want that to happen. That's why I'm always standing to fight against it and kick against that, right? Anyways, this brings us to what we have here today. There are other things this young man must have said that you as a Ghanaian might, also agree or disagree. So let's feel free to agree and disagree or confirm all he has said as his first-hand experience in Ghana, liking to Nigeria where he's coming from. Like you heard him, he's a genuine businessman. If you see the way he lives his life, self tells you a lot. And that's the kind of life I live. No noise. These are the kind of people that should even go and invest in Ghana at the long run, because he's a businessman with good ideas and innovation. You see, farming. He's farming in Nigeria already. If he gets land and farms in Ghana, makes a living, a good living in Ghana, expand like an extension in Ghana, it will also help boost the economy of Ghana. You have a branch in Nigeria, you have a branch in Ghana. Not criminals, 419ers all over. Not those kind of business, not those kind of mindset of people we need in Ghana, right? Anyways, let me know your thoughts, your opinion, your input. This is please don't judge me. Don't take it personal on me. I always say facts the way it is in my heart. I don't know how to hide my feelings and opinions, right? Anyways, let's talk in the comment section. And if you're yet to like this video, please give it a huge and a massive thumbs up. Share this video, and if this is your first time here, stay subscribed. Don't make it your last, and I will see you in my next one. Ciao, ciao.